What's up, everyone? Today we have a generator. I know literally two things about it. Actually, no, three. I lied. One, I got it from my neighbor. He doesn't want it anymore. Tried to fix it. Didn't know what was wrong with it. And he got to the point where you see it now and was like, yeah, maybe no. Second thing I know is I don't know why it's not working. However, I think I have a good idea. When I tipped over the fuel tank, it smells absolutely disgusting what came out there. I was hoping I saw a little bit of water. No, it was fuel. And the fuel shutoff valve is in the open position, so that fuel is definitely in there. We might just be dealing with a fuel problem. And besides that, the third thing is that I have a variety of parts. Some are over there, some are right here, and I don't know how to put it together entirely, not precisely. It looks pretty simple enough, but we're gonna explore those options of reassembly together. First things first, I wanted to see what's going on with it, so I wanted to put down a little bit of fuel down the spark plug hole, perhaps down the throat of the carb, and take it from there. So I really wanted to take this off and just to kind of have this on the side. And I saw this connector and I thought it would be pretty easy, but then there's 3 other wires. I'm not 100% sure where they go. I think they might be like kill for the engine and maybe a 12 volt. I don't really know, but those are not nearly as easy to get to. So not going to be able to do that. What I'm going to do first, however, though, is I see this plug. It's an LD, not G, but D as in Delta, which I don't even know what that is. Sounds a little Chinesey to me. Oh. Oh, of course this would be like this. It's a flathead. That would make sense. Yeah. Okay, I know exactly where to put this. I don't like those plugs. They don't last very long. I've had horrible experience with them, quite literally. Every single time I thought maybe this was going to be the good one, it isn't, so I'm not going to bother. Since I have zero idea when the last time this ran was, and it's been outside, I'm going to put a little oil down the cylinder hole, or a spark plug hole. I'm going to pull on it ever so gently, because I don't want to get sprayed in the face. Let's see if there's any compression. Oh yeah, there's compression. So knowing what we know so far, that the fuel in this tank was absolutely disgusting, and knowing that it's been outside, the rotor and everything inside looks to be pretty decent. It was outside, but it was covered up from what I gathered. Like I said, it's my neighbor's, so I saw it outside for a short period of time. I don't know how long it's been outside, but it was definitely out there. So I'm going to skip testing it, at the very least. I mean, I don't really have any concern this engine is not going to run. It has compression. I'm sure it probably has spark. In fact, we're not going to test spark quite yet. We might as well. Why not? I don't usually do this, but as anyone who's seen my videos will tell you, my idea of having a test for spark on every single machine, no. I mean, it's a good idea, don't get me wrong, but once you get below or above a certain age, but once you're at a certain point, coils don't generally go bad very often. They do, don't get me wrong, but they don't go bad too often. If they do, it's usually for a reason too. Like, poor maintenance or sitting outside like this one potentially could have been, corrosion on the wiring, stuff like that. I don't see any corrosion, so we're just gonna take a gamble. We have spark. I don't know if you can see that, but we have spark. Okay, I'm gonna take this carb off and start cleaning it. Looking at the side of this machine, this is a PowerTrain generator. I guess so. And it's not a real large one. It's a 97 displacement cc's, or 97 cc displacement, 900 continuous watt with 1,000 surge. Oh, excuse me, 800 continuous with the 900 surge. So this is one of those you would expect to like light here. Put some lights on there, heater on a low setting, stuff like that. Something I did just notice, which we'll see here momentarily. This fuel line is bent and crimped. Wouldn't that be funny? This whole thing started because the fuel line was too long. I hate these fuel clips. They're just horrible. They're not good at all. They cut, they get rusty. It's really hard to take them off. I prefer the other ones. So we're just going to take these off and throw them away when we're done here. Even in my vehicle, I don't like them. Which I'm sure there's a mechanic somewhere out there that is cringing just hearing that word, but I just don't like them. Fuel line doesn't feel all too horrible, actually. It's actually pretty pliable. It's really cold outside too. It's almost just above freezing. I also don't like to see this. This line is practically, well, it's not practically, it is in the way of the retention spring on the governor arm. So that's not cool. Gasket came with us. And take this bottom line off and see if we can't route it a better way next time. So this is a prime example of bad planning. I hate when you have to take the studs out. Here we go with the carb. Oh boy. When this comes out dirty, it's usually not a good sign. Oh, there's that smell again. That's delicious. That's a whole lot of crap in there too. Oh yeah, that's like fuel stabilizer galore from like 2005. The float doesn't seem too dirty though. That's good. That came off very easily. It's not too bad feeling. It might just be dirty. I'm hoping it's just dirty. Okay, good. The screwdriver was barely big enough. You really want a screwdriver that's like the perfect size. That way you're getting a full grasp on the brass. It's not a very large surface, so you really want to make sure you get a good grip on it before you start trying to take it out. So in there is an emulsion tube. That these styles, usually you can take them out, and this one appears to be the same. So I'll just take like a, oh, maybe this is too big of one. I like to take one of these little Allens, and the angle on it makes it a lot easier to kind of press through. Let's see if this one's better. And there we go. Easy as that. A pick also works really good. That's has a 90 on it, but I like that one because it's a little more stout usually. Oh yeah, that's just disgusting. Put that in there. Listen here. Is there other jets we can remove? There is. It's weird. This feels like a Honda clone, but it's like a old Honda clone, like one of those old flathead Hondas. I think that's it. So I'm going to put this in the ultrasonic cleaner. If you don't have an ultrasonic cleaner, obviously you just want to spray carb cleaner throughout here. If you do spray carb cleaner, take the, oh, we forgot one. Take the bowl seal off. It's very important. That's half. I'll just say 1. These are usually tuned, in my opinion, a tad too lean. I like to richen them up just a hair. Because you could always lean it out, but if it's too lean, then starting becomes an issue. I don't think that's really going to matter too much to begin with. I doubt this has any ability to idle. I think it's just full throttle all the way. I'm going to put that in there and bring it back. Got it out of the carb cleaner, or the ultrasonic cleaner. I guess it doesn't just clean carbs, even though it's basically the only thing I use it for. So now we need to put it back together. Let's grab a little towel here, nice and dry. Cover your ears. Headphone warning. That emulsion tube can be seen through, looks to be clean. So we don't dirty it up, let's put that in there. Jet. Same thing. Let's try this. Except because this thing was so dirty, I'm just gonna shove a bristle from a wire brush in there. Make sure there's nothing inside and blow it out again. I mentioned this as well before. If you need glasses to like read or pretty much anything, I would definitely be using them right now, because I like to look through the jet, and if you can't adequately see through it, you can't really tell if it's perfectly round, you're gonna have problems. This screwdriver is not the right size for this. Let me grab the right one. There we go. Gonna put a little carb cleaner on this Q-tip. clean the seat. There we go. Now we're going to blow that out as well. Wasn't very dirty. Mainly to just get rid of all the extra crap on there. Let's take a brush real quick and brush off that little white stuff that was still on there. Okay. This is a type of needle that has no clip on it. We're just going to put that needle straight in. It's a little bit of gooiness on the float. Let's get rid of that. There we go. That bowl seal doesn't look all that great, but it is flexible, and to be honest, I haven't really looked up a carb kit for this, but I can't imagine it's going to be too easy to find, so we're just going to clean it. Just going to take our towel and just kind of rub on it. Yes, yes, yes. Like I said, it's pretty flexible, considering it's super cold outside. I mean, it's not brand new, don't get me wrong. Okay. Our bowl. There's a lot of junk on the bottom there, but it doesn't really look like it was super corroded, so that's good. Yeah. I could deal with that. Just gonna say, let's see here. We're gonna have this face the outside. I don't remember how it came off. As soon as I give this bowl seal any type of credit, it decides to be difficult. Let's just put it in like that. After I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure it did go that way. Very well could still be wrong, but it's not that hard to switch it over if we're wrong. And yes, you should not use that. Okay. Idle jet. This is important to clean. There's a brass piece in there. A plugged jet right here will cause it to be lean no matter what you do. You can clean that main 10 times. You're never going to get it right. You'll tell that because it'll be surging. So then you push it all the way to idle, and then it'll just die. We said about 1, so let's actually just do a full 1 turnout. So it's right there. So we have half and 1, a little under 1. Okay, let's put it on. Okay. This is not one to stay on there. Oh my God. Okay. So I put the carb on exactly the same way it came off. Nothing too elaborate. There's a little slot for the drain hose that wasn't in, which is causing it to rub on the spring. I fixed that. So now this is choke, or I think this is choke. Who knows? Took these off. Let's go in the trash. Now we have to put on the plastic bits. I kind of want to look at this pull cord. See what's going on with that. The reason why I want to take a look at it is all this extra rope. Let's just take it off. Usually that means it didn't retract all the way, and someone just tightened it up so it would retract all the way. I mean, if it's already too long to begin with, then yeah, sure, go right ahead. A sock? Ew. That's a first. Okay, well, that's funny. So this is in horrible shape, not gonna lie. It appears like it has a decent amount of travel, but I think I'm not a fan of this style of rope anyway, so we're just gonna take it off. I'm gonna put a synthetic fiber one in. The reason why I'm not a fan of these is they degrade, in my opinion, a lot faster. Maybe it's reverse thread? Okay. Well, that's no good. Why is this thing not coming off? Just hold it down. Okay. Ow. That's just not wanting to come out. which is very unfortunate. It also kind of appears to be the reason why there's a sock in there. I think it's broken. This could definitely be a problem. Let me do a little thinking on this one. A little persuasion helped this problem. Okay, hopefully the spring doesn't go boing, 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 like that. Is this supposed to spin like that? I don't think so. No, I don't think it's supposed to be like that. It doesn't seem right. I think there was little dots in there. I think that was held into place with those. That's where the spring is held into place, I believe. Okay. So we're going to have to get this cleaned up, and we might have to put a tack in there. So I'm thinking here. So this goes in like so. Obviously with a spring. This goes in like so. And that is gonna move the dogs. But if I do tack that into place, will it cause problems? Because right now, you see the screw in the center is spinning with it. So I feel like that shaft actually is supposed to move. But just so wobbled out. It's causing the problem here. So we might want to, instead of tacking that into place, there might have been like a piece of something to kind of hold it in there. Can't take that out without breaking it at least. Maybe like a washer, like a big fat washer. Actually, no, a very thin washer, because this isn't very thick material to begin with. Let me see if I can find something. Okay, I came up with some funkery. So this is not a problem. However, what I had to do, originally I was thinking I need a longer bolt, but then I'm like, no, that's not going to be a solution. The problem is this plastic piece cannot come in contact with this plate. So I need to put a spacer, which is these three washers, because this washer that I want to tack weld on there is causing there to be a difference in height. Not so much where I think it's going to be a problem for the actual mechanism, but it is just enough for it to kind of throw off the dog a little bit. So I'm going to get this perfectly centered, get it cleaned up, and then I will go ahead and get it tacked up and bring you back. Got a couple tacks on there, and the washer, nice and secure. That's not going anywhere. So let's see if this works. Actually, I need to put the spring on first. Where did I put that spring? Here we go. This is going to be the yucky part. And probably the part that I'm just going to have to do off camera because, well, there might be some swearing involved in this process here. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of swearing and a whole lot of goo, so I'll be right back. Basically, I'm just going to swivel it up. It's not nearly as bad as I thought it would be. I mean, I don't want to do it again, but it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. Oh yes, the reason why I did all this, I need to get this rope changed out. So, who would have guessed? I thought I was just going to have to do a quick little changing of the pull cord. But no, it's never just a quick changing of a pull cord. It's always something else. Always. But I am kind of glad. I mean, because if I wasn't going to change it, I would have not seen that sock, and that sock obviously shouldn't be there. I don't think whatever company that does this actually wanted it there, but let's go ahead and wrap this around real quick here. And, you know, this isn't the best repair. You probably shouldn't be doing this, but will it work? I hope so. Could you do it and hopefully get away with it? We're gonna find out. Okay. That's on there. Now, we take our washers, put those in there. Let's get them all lined up. There we go. Now, this little piece has to fit on that little plastic part. And it does. If it doesn't, we might have to take a washer or something off, but it appears to be fine. There we go. So like I said, I don't know what the reasoning behind I mean why it was doing all that, but well, at least we found it. Okay, so there is the end. Somewhere. There it is. I should just put in that little notch, but I don't think it was going to quite fit anyway. Where's my little pliers? Oh, there we go. We might have cut it a little long. That's okay. I mean, it was a lot longer than the other one. I probably cut it too long to begin with, but whatever. We could just snip it off. No harm and no foul. I mean, potentially we could wrap it around again. But that's at least 3 feet. Dogs come out. We don't have a super giant wiggle, so we're just gonna cut it. And I'm gonna install it. The side pieces on the case just screw in on the base and then on the handle, so I'm just gonna do that real quick off camera because I don't really think you need to see me look around for holes. I think this is pretty much the majority of the beneficial part of this part. So I'm going to go ahead and get it started. Put back together, and a couple things to report. One, there's still like 8 screws I still have to put in. It's just a couple screws on the bottom to hold these pieces in, 1 or 2 on the handle, 1 or 2 on each side. I didn't want to do the whole thing because I know I'm going to take it off. The reason why I know I'm going to take it off is this. I was putting the side on. You have to connect the fuel line, and then I was at a bad angle, so I moved it, and not very hard, I guarantee you. It was very, very minimally. All of a sudden, one of the ends for the fuel line broke off in the fuel line. So, and for the time being, I just put a fuel filter. I have one of these on, actually 2 of these on order. Hopefully they'll be here by tomorrow, but I want to get this at least done. That's why I'm not going to close it up. I'm hoping I could just get the fuel filter off without taking this covers and everything off. I don't know about that one, to be honest, but probably not. But either way, we can at least give it a pull. The pull cord is also being a little troublesome. I had to go back, kind of grind down the weld a little bit more, and it wasn't catching. It still is a little weird. It works when it's not on the machine. When it's on the machine, it seems to be a little bit more finicky. So I might just have to buy a new one of those too. I don't want to, but might have to. It's on choke. Engine on. Yep. There's that pull cord again. Goody. Okay, well, it starts, so that's good. Actually, I was able to start without the choke on. I had the choke reversed. So, I think I need to wait for the fuel shut off to arrive, but I think we should be good. A lot of water came out of the muffler end, and it does have a heat shield somewhere over there that I need to install. I'm not going to do that until after. But let's see what type of quality of power it makes. Okay, maybe quality isn't the right word. I just want to see if it's, in the ballpark of 60 hertz. Obviously, when I put a load on it, you heard the engine change. So I want to see how much it drops. I don't remember how many watts this takes. I don't think it's all that many. Or all that much. I think it's like 400 or 500. So that's about half of what this should be able to run. Back on choke. Turn on. It's hopefully the pull cord works. Oh, we are so close. might have to break a multimeter out on this one. So here's the problem. This style of generator, power is very dirty, and this kilowatt device gets confused, let's put it that way. It confuses it in the fact that AC power goes into sine wave, and those are broken up and they have like jaggeds on them, or it's hard to explain. I'm not technically an electrician, obviously, but the dirty output, because technically it should be a very smooth line if you're going to look at the like oscilloscope. This is not smooth at all, far from it. In fact, it's probably very, very jagged, very, very bad. That's why you don't run anything important on it. A drill, it's not going to hurt it. It's running at 70 hertz. I don't think that's right, because it's only doing 124 watts, but then the watts disappeared entirely, and then it went down to 61 hertz, went back up to 73, then went down to 57, and then went back up 74. So I don't think that's right. We're going to have to test this out with a multimeter and see what's actually going on. Hopefully it's not too rattly, but let's turn this to hertz. See what we get. We have nothing because the pull cord is a giant pile of crap, and I just need to replace it too. So, just as I suspected, that pull cord is pretty much toasted, and it I got it to start, but it just ripped it right out. So unfortunately it's going to need to be replaced. However, we are still having the same problem. It sounds like it's running pretty decent. The only real way is to have an actual tester go on there, the oscilloscope, but I don't have one of those and don't really plan on buying one. But like I said, this is going to be working just fine for what it needs to be done. So I'm going to leave it at that. If you like what you see, keep watching. Definitely subscribe. I'm going to order that new pull cord or recoil assembly. All of it needs to be replaced, and hopefully we can get that taken care of here soon. But other than that, I think we should be good to go. You have a good rest of your day. Subscribe. If you have any questions, definitely leave a comment below, and I will be sure to answer. Follow me on Small Engine 101 on Instagram. Catch you later. Bye. So I wanted to kind of do like a final little update on this. Eventually I found out the reason why the recoil exploded in my last, wasn't catching, was I believe the center bolt came loose. I tightened it. It's really hard because once you tighten it, it starts spinning the center shaft. So that was a little difficult. I ended up bending the washer and the metal underneath it to kind of put a little tension on it to allow it to kind of grab a little easier. That should be doing pretty good now. It appears to be pretty decent. I don't suspect it's going to be coming loose because I did put a little bit of Loctite on the bolt. Shouldn't be a problem anymore. And second, I did put a new fuel valve on there. I just need to actually attach the fuel tank and remove the fuel filter that I had on there before as its placeholder, and it should be ready to go. Still don't have the exact output figured out quite yet because I ordered some testing equipment I wanted to use because what I was having just wasn't exactly working. So that's going to be a while because apparently the one I ordered is like on back order, even though it didn't say it was on back order. But you know, what can you do? I'm not going to sell this anyway. This is going to go to a neighbor of mine because we are expected to have a storm about another week or two. Or excuse me, about a week. And while I don't suspect we're going to lose power, this will be good to kind of power up some lights. He has a small one that's kind of on its last leg, and this is going to kind of replace it. Like I said, it's just good for lights. It's not really that big of an issue. He's going to be using it for that. I think he's going to potentially use a really small heater for like a small room going through like a window with the extension cord. I don't know. But either way, that should be good to go. I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good night. So a couple thoughts on the recoil is I do have other recoils. This is off a Tecumseh. I was hoping it's going to be the right size. It's actually about an inch or two big, so I can't use it. This is off of a GX120, so it's a smaller version of a Honda. Still is too big. I have an older one from a Honda that's also too big. I went on generatorguru.com, excuse me, and tried to see if I can locate a recoil for this. Not really that easy. This particular model number is on there, but it's very limited on what's actually available for it. So it's a little difficult to kind of pinpoint what exactly is needed. So that's unfortunate. So I just want to go over that final bit. That's why I really kind of focus on repairing it. I potentially have found another one. It says it's very, very close to the right dimensions, but the actual mechanism inside is not the same. I'd have to replace the cup as well, which I'm not against the fact of that. I mean, if I need to, I need to. I just don't know if the cup is going to be too big. That's my main concern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this going the way it is, and if I very well might try to order the other one. It's only like $18, but I want to keep this for a week I was talking about, and if it's holding up fine, it's probably going to be, if we do lose power, he's going to be using it routinely, so it's going to be off on, off on, off on throughout the day. So if he says there's a problem, I told him about it already, he's going to bring it to me immediately, and then we can see what we have to do. I might just order it. If worst case scenario, I have an extra recoil. If I do need to return it, I can. If it's just something I never think I'm ever going to use. The reason why I have those other ones is because I will use those eventually. I bought one of those, and I just bought two because it is something that I will be using. Okay, so that's my thought process on the recoil. Hopefully that wasn't too wordy. This is the real ending. Have a good night. Okay, well, as you can see, the output of the power wasn't really going to be too beneficial for me, and the my current tools available wasn't really working because the power on this is just too dirty. Put a tack on there, it was running about 3,900. I lowered it down to about 36, running pretty good. I still need to put a load on it for whatever reason. I'm not 100% sure. It started surging. I don't know if I just didn't put enough fuel in there, because I just put barely enough to kind of let it run. And I'll let it run for a couple minutes. I'll have to do a little bit more. I'll have to put a little more fuel in there and see if it makes any difference. But we do know at least it's in good engine speed, even though we can't really test it for anything else, because like I said, the power isn't the greatest. We're still in the good ballpark of engine speed, so at least we know that. The normal speed for this is 3,600 RPM. If you don't believe me, look at the sticker in the front, it will tell you that. And yeah, good to go. So this is the real end. I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good night.